that had to be done in order to resolve those conflicts. When our forefathers created the zoning, they did the best they could, but I mean, there's a number of instances to where zoning lines split property right down the middle. So this is not the first time that requests have been made for corrections of this matter. So the first thing I'd like to say is I think it would behoove our community to make this zoning change so that this project can move forward. Second point is the fact that Shandaken's economy is based on recreation and tourism. And from what I've seen of this proposal, it will enhance not only our town, but the hamlet of Big Indian, and I fully support it. Anything we can do to bring more tourism here and more recreational opportunities will make this a better place to live and help our economy and help our tax burden. Next point is I find it a little ironic that the Phoenician neighbors who are 7 miles, 8 miles away from this project have a problem with it. I don't think you can see it from High Street. You know, we've had the same problem with another situation, and I think it's a little out of line. The other thing that I want to say is that I feel like people who have continued to obstruct positive movement in Shandaken are still continuing to do that. I find that very offensive, and I hope we can get past that at some point. Thank you.
Thank you. So I've got to get other people have an opportunity. Chuck.
Chuck Perez, Big Indian. I am not an adjoining neighbor, but I can throw a stone and hit the property from my holdings in Big Indian. I feel as if a neighbor on Route 28, I don't see that this is going to have a negative impact on anybody's property along the corridor. The fact of the matter is, you're basically just changing the lot line to incorporate a smaller portion into a bigger portion of the property. I would also ask, and I'm just addressing the information that I got with regards to this public hearing. This is the opportunity for me to speak, so that's why I am here. Unfortunately, I do not have a prepared speech, but I want to thank the board for having the opportunity to speak and consider this proposal to be a benefit for the community. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Hi, I'm John Michelotti from Big Indian. I'm also a member of the public for which Kathy Nolan doesn't speak. Those who are here against the proposal are a very small minority, as always. I'm very concerned, well, and I'm not bewildered. I'm very concerned that this is just another delaying tactic that we've seen against all kinds of progress in our area. This is a type of activity that we all want to have here, and yet it's just another tactic to drive business away from our area. It takes too long, it's too difficult. We elect you, our board, to represent us. We shouldn't second guess everything you do. We should trust you to make the decisions in our best interest, unless it's a flagrant violation of your trust, of our trust. We trust you to handle these matters in the best manner for our public and for our community. Thank you.
John. Any other public comments? Well, we'll get through everybody and I'll come back around and Marty.
I'll come over here because you can never hear me. My name is Marty Gales. I live in Big Indian. What I heard at the beginning here of the discussion was, as Harry said, bogging us down in technicalities. Keep the hearing open. Don't take action. Delay, delay, delay. I am tired of self-appointed experts telling us how to proceed. I live in Big Indian. Right now, other than the post office, there is no open business. But we have the possibility of growth and improvement. Please don't throw roadblocks in the path.
Thank you, Mark. Any other public comments? Gary?
Well, I just want to second what Harry has so eloquently said, and second what John has said. You know, I've lived in Big Indian, I've been a resident here now 36 years. I've seen the area, the prosperity of the area under assault. A man has come into our community looking to invest a considerable amount of money into trying to revive the economy of our town, and specifically to revive the economy of Big Indian. This is a man who's ready to invest a good amount of money into an activity which I can't imagine why anybody would be against. We're looking at adding to the recreational opportunities for not only people who live here, but people coming to this part of the Catskills. So why would we want to fight that? So I urge that you consider this as a very positive development for the town, and not listen to those arguments that are simply saying delay, 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 delay. Thank you.
My name is Ruth Dunleavy, and I live on High Mount. And I do not come to these meetings because I enjoy speaking, and I do not come to these meetings so that people on either side can be called names. I would like to say that as far as I know, the people on this side of the room, for the most part, do not support this proposal. What we are asking is that the rules and regulations of zoning be followed. That's it. Thank you.
JC?
Hello, thanks for letting us speak today. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Just want to let you know I'm a resident of Big Indian, and
Your name?
also
I know your name.
John Michelati.
Junior, right? Or
And
John
also
Michelati, yeah.
support the zoning change. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Any? One more shot.
We think it's a wonderful project. There are two issues. The project, which seems like it will be good and everyone, it's a wonderful project. The zoning change is a risk to the town. The other way can be done just as quickly. We want to support the zoning and the laws as they're set up and support the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Could somebody tell us a little more about the project?
Well, hold on a second. Warren, do you want to speak?
Sure.
I see you talking behind you.
So I worked on zoning, building, plan, fire, flood. So a number of points have been brought up with regards to this process. First of all, I did meet with the applicants early on. They made the proposal. We had a meeting with the planning board, at which point multiple planning board members and I reviewed what would be the best definition or application for this process. Our zoning code doesn't always fit every application perfectly. You know, there's holes in it. Glamping would be a prime example. We don't have glamping in our code. So we have to look at the best available definition that would fit. What they're proposing, a mountain activity on the side of a mountain for commercial use, almost fits to a T one of our classifications. During this process, Other classifications were brought up, perhaps a day camp. A day camp refers to young children during summer hours or vacation hours for school. So we went through the permutations of things that would be allowed in both the R5 and the R1.5 districts. Yes, there are more available applications in the 1.5, but not that fit their application. Their application is for a larger scale project, so a larger parcel. I might remind them that both parcels are split zone, which is the case in numerous locations throughout the town. I have some that are zoned 3 locations. To take and move the zoning line to make the 2 lots homogeneous, which the lot adjacent to one side has also got part R5, the lots behind it are entirely R5. So it's all in that character, in that location, R5, R1.5. It was also suggested to do a lot line revision. Now, I don't know which avenue they were proposing for the lot line revision, because when you move a lot line, you don't move a zoning district. It stays where it is. If you go to move the lot line to create an R15 and an R5 lot, that's more of a subdivision, because you'll end up with more than one lot. And the R5 lots, the zoning on those 2 lots, do not support R5. So you'd be creating an undersized lot, which is in our code, it's not allowed. The applicant, after the applicant proposed this, they also proposed to remove the lot line to create 1 lot. So it would be a larger lot in an R5, 9 acres?
Just under.
Just under? So that would fit perfect in the R5 district, or the R1.5. No appropriate activity, yes. What else? What do I leave out? Any questions?
The proposal itself.
The proposal itself. Commercial mountain-related activity. It is a ropes course with, zip lines and the like. I mean, we have the applicants here who can
happy to describe it.
Who can probably make a better description than I can. But that fits in the mountain-related, commercial activities mountain-related, which is in our zoning code, which is in an R5 and R3. Other than that, I have nothing further.
So if it fits in there, why do you need the 1.5 in there?
Don't need the 1.5. It doesn't fit in the 1.5.
Right, but why, what's the...
If we make the 2 lots homogeneous R5,
Right.
then it's a special permit use across the entire parcel. If you go with an R5 and an R1.5, if you prohibit it in one and permit special permit in the other. But since both lots are split zone, they already have the R5 there. If you were to take that R1.5 lot, R5 lot, and say, no, let's make it Hamlet commercial, that is the true definition of spot zoning. You have taken zoning from an entirely different district and stuck it in the middle. That's not even close.
But
same thing if you, go ahead.
Because they have R5 there, it's permitted in that R5 area of the property.
It's permitted in the R5 area, but it would restrict the size that they could use.
So that's the only problem we have, is that because of the 1.5 area, they
need a larger lot. I mean, you wouldn't want to have a zip line.
No, I get that. Wouldn't just a variance allow them to do that? Because so much of the property is R5?
Problem is, if you look at the letter of the law, the R1.5, that activity is prohibited. So now you go down the use variance route. The use variance has its own set of criteria that is extremely difficult to meet on any level. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Since the property is already zoned the R5, and
well, that's
by special permit. So at no point, even the town board were to say, yes, we're going to go ahead, we're going to do this, we're going to make it all R5, this is by no means over.
Right.
We still have a formal application, we still have another public hearing for the actual activity, we have the notification of everybody that could be anywhere near, both sides of the road. So this is merely just to make allow the application to proceed forward. This is not an approval of the activity. I want that to be clear also. And just because you said make it all R5, that it will necessarily go, just be handed to you.
Got that.
So I just want to be completely clear, this is not removing a lot line to make a larger lot. This is one idea that you did have, right?
No, that is a separate application to the planning board.
All right.
This is merely to
Move the R5.
make it uniform,
Make it uniform.
make a uniform zoning district on the lot.
Right.
I have this, like I said, I have numerous lots. They come in, they want to do something on the lot. I say, well, where on your lot do you want to do this? Because your lot varies.
Right.
You know, there's a couple up here, there are R1, 5, R3, R5.
So this would, instead of being whatever it is, a 1.5 acre or whatever that is, and the 5 acre or whatever that is, it would be that total of those two parcels together as one under an R5
Correct.
use. So we're not turning it into a commercial or a hamlet or changing any of that. We're simply making it one lot for R5.
Still a residential lot in the residential
Still
district.
residential, still all the same that it would have been before.
Correct.
Except there's a couple things you can't do.
Can't go across the zoning district.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're already zoned public. Anything else?
Thank you. Did you guys want to, David, did you want to speak or Ian?
Thanks so much for everybody showing up and sharing their thoughts. The town board for hosting this opportunity to address this issue. My name is Ian Cruikshank, and I grew up here in Shandaken throughout my entire youth. I am a property owner in Big Indian and Pine Hill and other places in the town. And throughout the time that I grew up here, I can tell you there was a lack of things to do as far as organized activities that myself and my siblings and my friends had available to us. Furthermore, throughout my life, I've seen this area decline consistently from a commercial standpoint. Businesses closed, older generation died off, my generation moved away in search of opportunity and other things that were not available here. It's my belief that this town possesses a tremendous amount of potential and opportunity for growth and development of a very appropriate and beneficial and low impact kind. No one here wants to see this community become a commercial area, but in order for the community to survive, in order for there to be a reason for young people to stay in the area, there has to be both opportunity and attraction. Our goal with this project is to create both in a small way. It'll take much more than a single project or business to make a positive impact, across the board for the entire town. But we believe this is a step in the right direction. The project itself is, as I said, very low impact, environmentally friendly. It's the type of activity that we're drawing on significant precedents of like facilities that exist in other places to know that it can bring good traffic, the right kind of tourism, of people who are coming here to enjoy our town, our natural beauty, our outdoor activities, etc. That's who we want to attract, and that's what this is geared toward. Now, I have spent my entire adult life traveling, both domestically and abroad, which is work. And in doing so, I've had the opportunity to observe a lot of ways in which communities have been developed or thrived both some good, some not so good. And here in this town, we have seen initiatives that have come up that have been executed with a lack of planning, a lack of preparation, a lack of funding, a lack of comprehensive vision. I can assure you that this is not among them. Our proposal is one that will be carefully executed, appropriately funded, planned for, and is being designed on a precedence of this exact model being executed both in Europe and throughout various parts of the United States very successfully and very beautifully. The company that we are using to consult us on the design and construction of this has built over 35 of these parks in Europe and the US, and we're sparing no expense to make this a world-class attraction for the visitors of this area and for the residents of this area who we are committed to making this available to and supporting. I am not a zoning expert by any means, especially insofar as it pertains to the town of Shandaken. However, it seems silly to me that lots should be split by lines that, from everything I could figure out, were drawn arbitrarily. If this were a large parcel, I could understand it. Or these parcels were large, I could understand how there could be a zoning line running through the center of them. These are not only small parcels, but they're linear parcels, long and narrow. The fact that they could even draw the line in the middle of them seems really surprising to me. But I have not been able to identify any plan that was applied to the zoning of these parcels. It just happens to be that the line goes there. This was not ordained by God. This is something that by happenstance exists, and in any case seems as though cleaning up this stuff so that the zoning lines of small parcels such as these run concurrent with the property line rather than just smack in the middle so that there's less ambiguity would seem to be a good idea. I appreciate everyone taking this into consideration, and we look forward to bringing this worthwhile project to bear.
What do you tell us? Tell us about zip line. Tell us about
So it's
how many
actually
people.
not-
I mean, tell us like about how many people do this. You must have done research on this.
We did a lot of research on it, and to say it's a zip line is kind of an understatement.
Because I don't know anything about it yet, so I asked this because I'm
Sure.
out of
So
curiosity.
Hunter has a zip line. You get on, and I've not done it, but as I understand it, you get on at the top and you ride it to the bottom, and
Right.
there you go. That's a very passive activity. I've done zip lines elsewhere before. It's fun when you're in the air and whatever. This is actually a challenge course. A rope-based challenge course is probably the best description. The activities include climbing, ladders, tight ropes, does include some zip line from tree to tree. It's not, we're not going up the mountain and you ride it down or anything like that, because first of all, we don't have the space. Second of all, it's not the concept. This is a physical activity, confidence building, and challenge. The proposal, we can easily fit 6 courses on this property with plenty of room to grow should the business succeed and more courses be relevant to apply. We'll have 2 beginner, 2 intermediate, and 1 advanced course, as well as a children's course and fantasy treehouse. So it's for all ages. It's for, it's family oriented. There's no mechanical piece of it. It's all lines tied, ropes tied, and the trees. Every safety precaution imaginable is brought to bear, and hence using a highly specialized company of experts to design and build this, rather than just going and stringing a bunch of stuff in the trees ourselves. We'll be offering light refreshments. You arrive, you'll rent your harnesses, you'll be instructed on how the course works and what to do and so forth. It will be adequately staffed to ensure all safety precautions are followed, etc. In addition to the design and building of this, we're also under the expert supervision of the managers of several parks to devise all of our training materials and policies and protocols and procedures to make sure that it's as buttoned down as it can possibly be.
How many people do you think you'll get withdrawn for this? Any just thoughts?
Daily or annually?
Annually.
Our projections call for about 12,000 visitors a year. It's a 8-month season, though we expect much of that to be concentrated, of course, in the summer. We will be open from April to October, or through October. The average time that someone spends at a facility like this is 2 hours on the course, plus perhaps, having lunch or whatever. We'll be obviously meeting all the necessary requirements from the DEP and DOT and all the other Ds who like to weigh in on these things. Any other questions?
How many acres does this entail?
Well, the entire 2 parcels that it would span is 9 acres. We will only be occupying.
Like 900 or 9,000.
For the gravity of this conversation,
I know. It's like, oh wow, must be big. How many is frontage on Route 28? And whereabouts would this be when you're coming up 28?
So, if you're coming up 28 from here, you have that long straightaway, and at the end of the straightaway is a little red cabin that sat abandoned for quite a few years, or unoccupied, I should say.
Is this before the old Big Indian store you're talking about?
Oh yeah, quite a bit before. It's right at the end of the straightaway. The wayside ponds are below on the right, and there's that little red log cabin, uninhabited for many years and slipping into decay, which is not uncommon.
That's on the property?
That is on the property, so that would be our base camp, harness station.
Is there a parking area right there? Will that be right there?
All that flat area in front of that cabin will be adequate for parking.